Welcome, tribe, to today's yoga for core. So if you've now already grabbed your mat, let's grab that, get all set up, have everything that you need handy, props, water, anything that you may need for your practice today. And then we'll go ahead and jump right into it. So anytime we're working on the core, we also need to be focusing on the back and vice versa. So let's go ahead and start in tabletop position this morning. We'll bring the wrists directly under the shoulders, knees are directly under the hips. Bring that belly button back into the spine here, pressing away from the mat, keeping the neck neutral. So we're going to be looking down at the mat about a couple feet in front of the hands to keep a neutral neck. As you inhale, we're going to lift the hips, release the belly, looking up, still pressing away from the mat. And then exhale, tuck the pelvis under, lift the ribs as high as you can. Top of the head releases down towards the mat. Again, inhaling into cow. And exhaling into cat. Continuing with your own breath, really focusing on the entire torso here. So the upper spine all the way down to the tailbone, really just creating some movement in the area, warming it up, loosening it up. And also focusing on this breath-body connection that we're creating, right? So we're moving our body in regards to our breath. All right, let's go ahead and come back to tabletop position. All right, from here, we're going to tuck the toes and bring our hips up into a downward facing dog. So this may be your first one of the day or your first one in a while. Take your time here. Really kind of pedal the feet, walk it out, right? So maybe just dropping one heel down at a time. Sitting with that for a moment, creating that space in the back of the legs. Inhale back up and then exhale, releasing the other heel down. Breathing. When you're ready, when you feel like you've created some space in the back of the legs, then we'll go ahead and try to release both of the heels down towards the mat. So let's run through our downward dog alignment here, making sure that we're making all the appropriate adjustments. So fingers should be spread nice and wide on the mat. We want to create a nice solid base for all the weight that's in our arms and wrists. Allow the head to hang heavy. Maybe shake it, yes, no. Look down at your belly button and then allow it to just fall heavy. The shoulder blades release down the back away from the ears as you lengthen through the spine, keeping the core engaged here. Lifting up with the hips towards the ceiling, pressing back through the legs. Feet are hip distance apart. Let's take another breath here. Look between the hands and bring it forward into your plank position. All right, holding our plank here. Nice deep breaths. And then shift it back into downward dog. All right, again, back into plank. All right, on this one, we're going to bring the right knee in to the right elbow. Bring it across towards the left elbow. Back over to the right. And back into plank. Left side, left elbow. Right elbow. Left. Back. And press it back into downward dog. Holding our downward dog here for a couple breaths. From here, we're going to bring that right leg up, going for height, reaching towards the sky with the right leg. You should feel a nice stretch opening up in that left leg as well. Let's take an inhale here, and then exhale, shift it forward, knee to nose. Inhale it back up, and exhale, bring it over to that right elbow. Inhale it back up, and exhale across the body to the left elbow. Inhale it back up, and exhale, release it down. Take a breath here, inhale through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out. All right, inhale, left leg sweeps up. Holding here, feeling that opening up in the back of the right leg. One more inhale. And then exhale, shift it forward, knee to nose. Inhale it back up. And exhale, bring it to the outside of that left elbow. Inhale it back up. And exhale it across the body. Inhale back up. And exhale, release it down. Downward facing dog. Shift it forward into plank. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Lower it all the way down. Hover above the mat as long as you can. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way down. All right. Okay. From here on our bellies, we are going to bring our chin to the mat. Release the tops of the ankles down onto the mat. Arms come down on your side, palms facing up. Take a breath. And then on our next inhale, we're going to engage the core nice and tight. Exhale, lifting up with the chest, keeping the legs down on the mat. Interlace the fingers behind the back and come on up. Squeezing those shoulder blades together, really focusing on keeping the core engaged. We need to protect the lower back. 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Release one of your ears down onto the mat. Pause here for a breath. All right, let's go ahead and prepare for round 2. We'll bring the chin back to the mat. And this time, we're going to bring the hands underneath of the thighs a little bit. All right, inhale, engage the core again. And exhale, lifting the legs only. Lift them up higher, 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 as high as you can get them. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Release them down. All right, untuck the hands, bring them back to the side of the body. Let's go ahead and bend the knees, maybe windshield wiper the feet from side to side. All right, releasing the feet back down onto the mat, this time coming into a full locust pose. So bringing the chin back to the mat, we're going to inhale, engage the core, and exhale, bring it all up, all of it together. Again, you can interlace the fingers behind the back if you want. Pulling those shoulder blades together. Keep that core engaged. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Opposite ear to the mat. Bending the knees again. Windshield wiper the feet side to side. Find some movement here that feels good. And then keeping the knees bent right where they are. We're going to keep the knees in line with the hips. Grabbing the outsides of the feet. Chin coming back down to the mat. Inhale, engage the core. And then exhale, bring it all up again, coming into bow pose. So kicking the feet into the hands, but remember to keep the knees parallel here, so we don't want to allow them to come out or even in. We want to keep them nice and even. Nice deep breaths. Do not hold the breath. Breathe here. 3, 2, and 1. Lower it back down. All right, take a deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth side out. All right, we're going to bring the hands back down underneath of the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Press yourself up. Push up style back into plank. All right. From here, bringing the left hand in towards center, opening it up to the side for side plank. Bringing that right arm up nice and high, nice solid plank. Now, if you need to modify, you can drop the bottom knee down. If you want to modify, make it a little harder, you can lift the top leg. Maybe even come into like a little tree pose here or play around with your balance however you want. We're going to hold for 3, 2, and 1. Coming back into plank position. Hold here for a breath. And then bringing that right hand in towards the center of the mat. Open it up to the side for side plank. Again, left arm comes up. Feel free to modify however you need. You can drop that right knee down onto the mat if you'd like, or lift the left leg, coming into a tree pose. Keeping the core nice and tight. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to plank. Dropping the knees, lifting the chest, preparing for camel pose. So again, keeping the knees even with the hips here. We can either keep the feet in line with the knees, or if you want to bring the toes together to make a little tripod. Hands coming to the lower back, fingertips facing the floor. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, press the hips forward, lifting up and back with the chest. Squeeze the elbows and the shoulder blades together. If it's in your practice to release your hands down to the ankles, you can, but continue to press those hips forward. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Tuck the chin to the chest. Hands coming back to the lower back. Gently coming up as we bring the hands to the mat. Bring the knees as wide as your mat, keeping those toes together as we set the hips back onto the heels. Dropping down into your child's pose. So we just spent quite a bit of time compressing the vertebrae in the lumbar spine. It's important to make sure that we always counter those compressions by stretching and creating space now in the lower back. So coming into a child's pose is a great way to do that. As you inhale, try to send that breath into the lower back. Take a couple more breaths here. All right, let's lift with the chest. Coming back in with the hands, cross the feet here, and make your way onto your seat. All right. Bring the soles of the feet together. I'll come at a little angle for you guys. We're going to take the peace sign fingers and bring them to our big toes. So just wrapping them around the big toes, taking the thumb and placing it on top of the big toe. This is a hand placement that we use a lot in a lot of postures, peace sign fingers to big toe. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. Start to lean back onto the tailbone slightly, and we're going to come into upright seated angle. So if you can, begin to bring those legs up, straighten the legs, staying nice and lifted with the chest. If you need to keep the knees bent here, you can keep the knees bent. That's okay. It's more important to focus on the spine, staying extended, not rounding in the spine, than it is whether or not your legs are completely straight or bent. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet together and release the fingers from the toes as we come into boat pose. Again, Still leading, chest open, heart forward, straight spine. 3, 2, 1. Start to lower it all the way down onto the mat. As slow and controlled as you can. All right, all the way down. From here, bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. Again, feet are hip distance apart as we bring the heels in nice and close to the sits bone. Reaching the fingertips towards the heels. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, press the feet into the mat, lift the hips, reach the chest towards the chin. We're going to take the hands again underneath of the back, interlace the fingers, and roll the shoulders under if you can. Keeping the knees parallel, do not let them come out to the sides. Chest towards the chin. For 3, 2, and 1. Lower it all the way back down onto the mat. Bring the arms out to your side as we gently windshield wiper the knees from side to side. All right, we're going to take a second round of bridge here. So again, bring those heels in nice and close to the sits bones, reaching the fingertips towards the ankles. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, press the feet into the mat, lift up, coming into your bridge. Three, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Bring the knees into the chest, give them a nice hug. Maybe find a gentle rock side to side, front to back. Taking the hands behind the thighs, we're going to rock from front to back, massaging the entire spine on the ground. One more time, and come up into your seated position again. All right, all the way up. Let's go ahead and come back into our boat pose, but this time we're going to take some twists with it. So straightening the legs. If you need to modify and keep the knees bent, that's okay too. Again, chest forward, staying nice and extended with the spine. And from here, we're going to begin to twist. So we're going to do 10 on each side, count 20 total. Four, 3, 2, 1. And back to center. Hold. And again, lower it down as slowly as you can. All right, bring the knees back into the chest. Straighten the legs straight up. And we're going to go for 20 toe touches. Go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way back down. Keep the knees bent into the chest. Bring the arms out into a T. So we've done lots of core and lots of work with our back as well. Now we're going to take a little bit of a twist here at the end to just kind of wring the spine out and detox, stimulate the abdominal organs a little bit. So allow the knees to gently fall over to the left. That right hip will come up off the mat, but try to keep the right shoulder down. So both shoulders down as we turn and look over the right hand. Just getting a nice, easy little twist in the lower spine. One more breath here. And then bring the knees back to center. Allow them to gently fall over to the right as we turn, look over the left arm this time. One more breath. Knees gently coming back to center. Extend the legs up, and then slowly as you can, allow them to come down onto the mat. Try to hover above the mat, just maybe like 4 to 6 inches. Keep them there for as long as you can. And then release, bringing the feet out as wide as the mat, allowing them to gently fall out to the side, closing your eyes, and coming into your Shavasana. So your Shavasana is optional. You don't have to take one if you don't want to. I always recommend treating yourself with at least 5 minutes of rest and relaxation. So closing the eyes. I'll guide you into your Shavasana, so stay here as long as you'd like. Eyes are closed. Unclench the teeth in the jaw, releasing the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Softening all the small muscles in the face, around the eyes, eyebrows, forehead. Notice anywhere in the body that you may still be holding on to any tension. With each and every exhale, let it go. Take a moment here to acknowledge yourself for showing up today, for making yourself a priority, filling your own cup before trying to serve others. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was my honor to guide you through your practice. Namaste.